Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. It is the first day of November 2022, and I want to start the month off by giving you another unpopular opinion video. And for this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on what I think should be the future of OWN's Ready to Love. Now before I get deep into this opinion, I think it's important to mention that this video is not a call for people to boycott the show, and I'm definitely not trying to pressure the network into getting rid of the show. I will simply be laying out a case for why I feel that Ready to Love has run its course and why canceling this show would be a good thing. Whether it happens or not is up to the powers that be. So feel free to sit back, buckle up, and prepare to agree or disagree with this opinion. Ready to Love is a show that has been coming on OWN for the past 7 seasons. It's a show that groups 20 men and women together to find out if they're truly ready to love. Or at least the show claims as much. Now while the premise seems pretty simple, the execution of the show's stated goal misses the mark completely, and this has been the case for a number of seasons. In my opinion, the primary reason for why this show fails to see if the cast members are ready to love is because the show treats the sacred path towards discovery as if it's a game. And they do this by giving the men and women power to eliminate those cast members who they don't feel are ready to love. And the show has also had a history of penalizing cast members who fall in love too soon. Throughout the majority of the past seasons, this approach by the show has been problematic for the cast members. Because how can these people really tell somebody that they aren't physically attracted to, or somebody that they've only known for a few hours, that they aren't ready to love? Doesn't common sense tell folks that falling in love takes time, and sometimes opposites do attract? I know that I've said this a million times already, but I'm going to say it again. Before every season of Ready to Love, I predict which cast members will make it to the finale and which will get eliminated. And so far, I've been at least 90% correct on my predictions. So I bring all this up just to hammer the point that the show has truly set up the cast members for failure. Speaking of the cast members, for the past few years, I've been tuning into some of the interviews that several of the cast members have on YouTube. And in these interviews, the cast members are sharing their experience on the show. I will say that the majority of the cast members have painted the show in a very negative light. These cast members are typically discussing how shameful the editing is for the episodes, as well as how production has painted certain cast members as more villainous than they really are. For example, the Phil and Shiloh situation had a number of fans viewing Phil as some type of guy who beats on women without any regard for common decency. And it wasn't until some major clarification that Phil was exonerated from the accusations that he faced. One could make the argument that this type of interference by production also has a negative reception by the fans of the show, who often get into gender war-based arguments over which cast members they support. And in my opinion, this type of toxicity only divides us as a community. And lastly, I want to point out the poor track record that Ready to Love has as an avenue for helping singles find love. Throughout the past 7 seasons, there have been well over 100 cast members that have appeared on the show. And out of those 100 plus cast members, less than 10 have actually found love with somebody that they met on the show. And as a fact, Ready to Love's success rate is much worse than Married at First Sight's success rate, which is really saying something. A wise person once said that the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, this show has been doing the same things, and instead of there being some hope for the quality of the show to improve, it has gotten progressively worse, and there doesn't seem to be any hope for the show going forward. So these are the reasons why I feel that Ready to Love has run its course. Now don't get me wrong, every season has a number of beautiful women on display. The show has a number of funny moments, and it's good to see how the cast members interact with one another. I'll even concede that there are probably a lot of fans out there who would love to see Ready to Love carry on for another 10 plus seasons. But in my opinion, the bad seems to outweigh the good for this show. And because of that, I think the show should ride off into the sunset and allow another show to get some shine. But that's just my opinion. And this marks the end of the video. Do you agree that Ready to Love needs to throw in the towel? Or are you a fan of the show and you want to see more going forward? Feel free to leave your comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.